Hi guys, welcome back to another video tutorial. So in this tutorial we'll be going over how to make a letter the subject of an equation or changing the subject of a formula. It's the same thing. And in this video tutorial we'll start with the basics, work our way through this, and then in the next video tutorial we'll be going through something a bit more difficult. It's not really difficult, but it's a bit more difficult in terms of a level. But first, obviously, you need to understand how to do this before getting into those ones. Right, so let's get straight to the question. Make P the subject of the equation. So we have two separate questions here, and we want to make P the subject. So I'm going to look at this one first. Now, because I want to make P the subject, what I can do first, and this is up to you, but just so that it makes it easier for you guys to understand, I'm going to write P bracket P minus T equals Y. Can I not write it this way? Right, so I'm taking this and moving it to left side, I'm taking this and moving it to right side. They're the same thing. Now, because I want P the subject, there's two ways you can go about doing this, and I'll show you both ways, and then you can pick which one is your favorite. Now, the first way is I'm going to move B to the other side. So I have P minus T is equals to, now if I move B to the other side, I'm dividing it. Because this is times, I'm going to do the opposite, so I'm going to divide by B. And because you want P the subject, you move minus T to the other side, and remember, whenever you move something from one side to the other, the sign changes, so it'll become plus T. So so that's it. So that is the answer. P is equals to Y over B plus T, and that's it. Okay, now again, what I'm doing is I'm bringing B to the other side, so I'm dividing it by B, so Y over B, and then because I'm left with this minus T now goes to the other side, which now becomes plus T. So now P is the subject of this equation. Now the other way that you can do as well is expand the bracket. So if we were to expand this, B times P is BP, and then B times minus T is minus BT, and that is equals to Y. Because we want, whoa, what did I put BB here? Okay, hold up. So that's BP. So BP minus BT is equals to Y. Now, because you want P the subject, keep the BP here and bring BT to the other side. So it becomes plus BT. And now because you want P by itself, you divide everything, all of this, by B. So Y plus BT over B. And that's your answer. These two are the same thing. Now you might be thinking, hang on, no, it's not. You're wrong, because this looks completely different from that. Well, it's not, because if you simplify this as a fraction, you will get this. So both of these answers are fine. Okay, and again, if you don't believe me, look, I could quickly show you here. So if we do Y over B plus T, right, and I put over 1, my lowest common denominator here is B, right? Now, if I want to get this left-hand side, all I have to do is Y times 1, which is Y. And if I want to get this side, I do B times T, which is BT. And that gives me the answer. If you see this, it's the same as this. So it's the same thing. Okay, so now if we were to go on to this one now, for the second one, again, we want to make P the subject. And this one's slightly different in that now we have a fraction. So whenever you have something in this form as a fraction, what we want to do is get rid of this x. And the best way to get rid of this x is cross multiply. So we're going to do x times t, which is just tx or xt, doesn't matter. And that's equals to 2 bracket p minus a. Okay, and now because we want P the subject, we can rewrite it this way. 2 bracket P minus A is equals to Tx. And again, if we're going to do the first way, keep P minus A here is equals to, now take 2 to the other side, so you're going to divide it, so Tx over 2. And because you want P the subject, minus A has to go to the other side, so it becomes plus A. And that is your answer for this one, to make P the subject. And again, here you can cross multiply as well if you want. It's the same thing. It will give you the same thing. Okay, so this is pretty much how we make the subject of an equation. Kind of a basic tutorial on this topic. And if you understand this, please give this video a big thumbs up. Would really appreciate it. And now let's see if you really understand it, if you can try and do these questions. And again, try these questions out, pause the video, and then see if you get your answers. Okay, they'll be similar to these ones, and yeah, have a go. Right, so here are some questions for you guys to try and do. Try them out, give it a go, and then play the video back and see if you got it right. Right, so here in this question we want to make x a subject for these two equations. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do, again, there's two ways you can do this. You can expand it and then, find x, or you don't have to expand it. So we'll do the first one where we don't have to expand it. So we keep x minus 2y here, and we want to bring a to the other side. But remember, you're timesing a by all of this, which means if you bring a to the other side, you're going to do the opposite, which is divide. So I'm going to b over a. Now remember, because you want x as subject, this minus 2y has to go to the other side. So it's b over a plus 2y. And that is your answer for this one. Now again, if you did the expanding route, if you expand ax, so it's going to be a times x, which is ax, and a times minus 2y, which is minus 2ay equals b. Remember, because we want x as subject, keep ax here, and then move minus 2ay to the other side, so it becomes plus 2ay. And because you want x as subject, you divide everything by a. So a goes to the other side, so you divide everything by a, and that's your answer. So if you got either this answer or this one, you're right. It's fine. Okay, and now if we go to this one, we want to make x a subject again, and remember this is a fraction, we need to get rid of the c, so we're going to cross multiply. So d times c is dc is equals to b x minus a. Now we can rewrite this as b bracket x minus a equals dc. And because we want to make, again, I'm not going to expand this one, but you can if you want. I'm going to make x a subject, so keep x minus a here. Bring b to the other side, so you divide it by b. And because you want x a subject, this minus a has to now go to the other side. So now it becomes positive a. So it'll be plus a. Okay? And that's pretty much the answer. Now again, if you want to expand from here, so let me put a little star here. So if you were to expand it, so that would be bx minus ba is equals to dc. And because you want x as subject, keep bx here. Bring ba to the other side, so it becomes plus ba. And then because you want x as subject, you need to get rid of the b, so you need to divide everything by b. And that is your answer. Okay, so hopefully you've got this, you've got the answers for this, and you understand now how to do or how to move letters around, because this is kind of, you can say this is algebra, right? Well, it is algebra, it's basic algebra, kind of moving things around, and this is kind of the fundamentals for you to understand how to move things around. And if you really understand these things, how to move things around, how to cross multiply, and that, you are building up the foundations of algebra. And pretty much, once you understand that, the other questions are algebra related, you will be able to see it's not as hard as it looks. Okay, so if there's any questions that you don't understand or any kind of doubts you have regarding the working out, leave a comment down below and I'll reply back. And until then, I shall see you on the next one. Oh, and the next video tutorial will be slightly harder on the subject of changing the subject of an equation. But again, just master this first before going into the other one, or else you won't be able to understand it. It will just confuse you more. All right.